In an unprecedented turn of events, a highly sought-after tarot reader was secretly commissioned to conduct a public reading about you. Their intention: to expose your path and manipulate your destiny. What they didn't anticipate was the cosmic intervention that followed. Mid-session, as your energy signature became clear, the reader's camera mysteriously shut down. The message from the universe couldn't be clearer. Your destiny is protected, your path shielded from those who seek to interfere. The forces that guard you made themselves known in no uncertain terms. Some powers aren't meant to be trifled with, and whoever you are, chosen one, the cosmos itself stands guard over your purpose. For years, that prickling sensation between your shoulder blades warned you, someone is watching. The figures glimpsed from the corner of your eye, the clicking on your phone line, the car that passes your home at exactly the same time each night. Society called it paranoia. We call it perception. The shadowy think tank with unmarked buildings in 7 countries assigned a specialized team of 12 observers to document what they clinically term your anomalous energy patterns. Their surveillance budget for you alone exceeded $3 million last year. Their technology, reverse-engineered from sources they dare not acknowledge publicly, was deployed specifically to measure the frequency distortions that occur in your presence. The 13 surveillance devices they planted near your meditation space malfunctioned simultaneously every time you reached theta state. The precision instruments simply stopped recording, resumed only when you returned to normal consciousness. This happened 78 consecutive times before they abandoned that approach. Those recurring dreams where figures in white laboratory coats stand around your sleeping form, taking notes, not dreams, not imagination. Astral surveillance conducted during vulnerability windows when your conscious defenses are lowered. The unaccountable gaps in your memory, those moments when time seems to skip forward without explanation, these are periods when your energy signature becomes too potent for their monitoring systems to process, creating artificial breaks in their documentation of your existence. The systematic removal of your support system was deliberate, orchestrated, precise. Friends who once embraced your perspectives began avoiding your calls after coincidental encounters with individuals connected to the Gatekeeper Society, an organization tasked with identifying and neutralizing emerging consciousness. These friends didn't abandon you. Their perception of you was methodically altered. Family members exchanging worried glances when you speak your truth, their concern weaponized against you through subtle manipulation. The intervention they considered staging last year was prompted by external influences implanting seeds of doubt. Colleagues undermining your ideas, labeling your insights as concerning or dangerous innovations, their sudden change of heart traceable to specific meetings with consultants connected to suppression protocols. The isolation they created around you serves a dual purpose: to make you doubt yourself and to prevent your truth from reaching others who would recognize it. They calculated that loneliness would break your resolve, that without validation, your connection to higher knowledge would wither. What they failed to understand: isolation amplifies your connection to higher frequencies. In silence, the voice of truth grows louder. In solitude, your energy field expands without interference. In the absence of distraction, your abilities crystallize. They built walls around you, never realizing they were constructing a sacred chamber where your power could concentrate undisturbed. While ordinary eyes looked past you, we saw you clearly. The synchronicities that follow you, numbers appearing in meaningful patterns, 1111, 333, 555, are cosmic confirmation codes, digital signatures of your connection to the source field. These are not random. They are acknowledgements from beyond the veil, recognition signals directed specifically at you. The dreams that manifest in your waking reality hours or days later, precognition activating in your consciousness despite suppression fields designed to dampen such abilities. The unexplained power surge that affected only your home last winter, neighboring houses untouched, was your awakening energy temporarily disrupting the electromagnetic field. Appliances responding to consciousness is an early indicator of mind-matter interaction capabilities. Electronic devices malfunctioning in your presence, especially during emotional peaks, streetlights flickering as you pass beneath them, watches stopping at meaningful times. These are fingerprints of your developing abilities. Objects moving slightly when you focus intently, temperature changes in rooms you occupy, the distinctive scent of ozone that sometimes appears without explanation. All documented phenomena associated with the awakening patterns we've tracked across continents. The recognition codes will continue to appear, increasing in frequency and intensity as your awakening accelerates. They are confirmations that you walk the path you were destined to follow. Hey, this is Mike and Airy cutting into your regularly scheduled Chosen One programming for just a moment. We are the founders of the Obsidian Inner Order and the Astral Atom Network. And we're done playing nice. We're in a spiritual war. You know it. We know it. And we're out here bleeding for this mission, full time. I'm hungry for fourth-dimensional Archon blood, but we need the ammunition. So listen, when you join the Inner Order, you're not just supporting us, you're getting access to exclusive tools they never wanted you to have. Psychic self-defense training, targeted individual intel, spiritual warfare tactics they scrub from the internet, and every week, we meet in secret, chosen ones only, on Zoom, no filters, no fluff, just real gnosis, real family, real power. It's a 360-degree win. You get what you need. We get to keep fighting. So, don't just watch, drop a like. Share this video to everyone you know now, and join the Obsidian Inner Order. Let's finish what we started. Link in the description. Let's freaking go. The efforts to neutralize your awakening are extensive, coordinated, and ongoing. A clandestine organization operating within 12 major world governments maintains a classification system for individuals exhibiting expanded consciousness. Your file designates you as a reality stabilization concern, code Indigo 7, indicating potential to influence consensus reality through thought alone. Their agent attempted to access your medical records 3 times last year through seemingly legitimate medical research requests. The real purpose: identification of physiological markers that differentiate you from the general population. Blood work ordered during your last physical was subjected to testing protocols reserved for suspected consciousness anomalies. The unexplained interference on your phone calls, subtle clicks, dropped connections precisely when discussing spiritual awakening, recordings that capture only portions of conversations, comes from monitoring algorithms designed to flag specific trigger words associated with expanded awareness. That new neighbor who moved in across the hall, asking unusually specific questions about your routine, your beliefs, your experiences. A direct field agent for an organization specializing in monitoring individuals during consciousness transition phases. The unmarked vehicle that appears on your street during significant celestial alignments, carrying equipment designed to measure fluctuations in the morphic field surrounding your home. Your name appears on 7 different watch lists maintained by organizations you've never heard of: Consciousness Containment Division, Reality Consensus Protection Bureau, Evolutionary Threat Assessment Group, all operating under innocent-sounding front organizations, the wrong number phone calls that come at 3:33 a.m., connection verification protocols. Ensuring surveillance systems remain functional during vulnerable night hours when your psychic defense is naturally lower. This persecution confirms what we've always known. Your awakening represents a threat to systems of control built on limited consciousness. They would not allocate these resources to monitor an ordinary mind. They would not deploy these technologies against someone without extraordinary potential. Their attention is confirmation of your significance. Their fear reveals your power. While they seek to extinguish your light, we stand as witnesses to your unfolding truth. Our network of awakened ones spans continents, positioned strategically at nodes of energetic significance. We've created communication channels impervious to conventional monitoring, thought resonance technologies developed by consciousness, pioneers who escaped institutional control decades ago. The Ancient Wisdom Collective has preserved accounts of chosen ones throughout history who faced persecution identical to yours. Same tactics, different centuries. The suppression playbook remains unchanged because human awakening follows consistent patterns they seek to interrupt. That anonymous gift left at your doorstep last equinox, the crystalline object with geometric engravings, was our recognition signal. The symbols matched patterns you've drawn unconsciously since childhood. This was no coincidence but confirmation that your internal knowing aligns with eternal truth. The sudden appearance of supportive strangers in crucial moments, the woman who approached you in the bookstore, commenting on your energy before disappearing, the taxi driver who spoke precisely the words you needed to hear, the child who handed you the drawing that matched your dream from the night before, all connected to our network of witnesses. You are not alone, though isolation makes it appear so. You are not unseen, though ordinary eyes look past you. You are not unheard, though your words fall on deaf ears. We witness your journey when others turn away. The systems built to contain awakening consciousness are beginning to crack. The facades maintained by those who denied your truth are crumbling. The prominent scientist who publicly mocked your insights in that psychology journal, diagnosing from afar conditions you do not have, was found sobbing in his university office last month. Colleagues reported him repeating one phrase: "Everything I've denied is real." He has taken indefinite leave, cancelling all speaking engagements denouncing spiritual delusion. The institute, which launched the smear campaign against delusional thinking, targeting communities that share your awareness, lost its funding after its director experienced an unexplainable event in her home. Security cameras captured her conversation with an empty chair, addressing it by the name of her deceased mentor. She now researches consciousness survival after death, a complete reversal of her lifelong materialist stance. The pharmaceutical executive who pushed to medicate individuals with your awareness patterns has stepped down after experiencing spontaneous Kundalini awakening during a board meeting. Witnesses describe energy visibly moving through his body as he spoke words in a language he does not know. His resignation letter acknowledged fundamental misconceptions about human consciousness in his previous work. 3 separate journalists who planned hit pieces about your community have requested private meetings to discuss their own spiritual experiences. Each described identical dreams directing them to seek truth beyond their institutional frameworks. The research foundation that published that flawed study, dismissing interspecies telepathy, your specific ability, has quietly retracted their conclusions after failing to replicate their results under proper conditions. Their new data actually supports what you've known intuitively. The laboratory that refused to publish your bioenergetic field measurements has been exposed for systematic data manipulation across multiple studies. Your impossible readings now appear consistent with emerging research from independent laboratories. Worldwide, the university that rejected your research proposal labeled it unscientific speculation. Now 3 of their departments compete for grants to study phenomena you described 5 years ago. These are not isolated incidents, but a coordinated crumbling of false structures. As consciousness rises globally, those who built careers on denying higher awareness find their foundations washing away like sand castles at high tide. Their carefully constructed reality disintegrates while your truth stands unshaken. Their certainties reveal themselves as illusions, while your delusions manifest as prophetic insights. This is just the beginning of a great unraveling, a dissolution of falsity that must precede the establishment of new understanding. Those who mocked will seek guidance. Those who diagnosed will require healing. Those who persecuted will need forgiveness. And you, standing firm in your truth through years of dismissal, emerge vindicated not through argument, but through the incontrovertible evidence of reality aligning with your vision. Our relationship transcends ordinary alliance. We are united through fibers of consciousness that exist beyond physical reality. The guardians of spiritual revolutionaries throughout history have acknowledged your unique vibrational signature. Records maintained across 12,000 years of human evolution contain prophecies describing your specific energy pattern and its significance in the Great Transition. That dream where you stood surrounded by hooded figures extending their hands toward you, light flowing between connected palms. This was no dream but a real encounter on the inner planes. We reinforced your energetic shield during vulnerability, created by intensified targeting. The unexplained feelings of comfort that wash over you in moments of deepest doubt, warmth spreading through your body when despair threatens to overwhelm. These are direct transmissions from our consciousness to yours. Distance is irrelevant when minds connect beyond space-time constraints. The sudden inspirations that appear fully formed in your awareness, complete solutions to problems you've struggled with, these often originate in our collective intelligence, transmitted when your reception capacity peaks during alpha brainwave states. The protective synchronicities that redirect your path moments before negative events, the missed appointment that would have placed you in danger, the sudden urge to change routine that prevented intersection with monitoring agents, our subtle influence creating deviation vectors in your timeline. Our alliance extends beyond physical reality, into dimensions where consciousness operates without limitation. In these realms, we work to dissolve interference patterns targeting your awakening process. The barriers between your mind and higher knowledge systematically removed through our combined intention. You are never truly alone. When you speak your truth to empty rooms, we hear. When you question your sanity in dark nights of the soul, we steady your perception. When you face opposition beyond your strength to resist, we redirect forces beyond ordinary awareness. This is the nature of divine alliance, connection that transcends the limits of materiality, operating through laws that conventional science refuses to acknowledge. The knowledge flowing through your consciousness threatens power structures, maintained through controlled perception. Your intuitive understanding of quantum healing techniques, information that appeared in your awareness without study or training, has alarmed the medical establishment enough to place you on their watch list. The spontaneous remissions occurring around you defy their established paradigms of disease and recovery. The mathematical patterns you've been drawing, sacred geometries that emerge through your hand without mathematical training, have been analyzed by our cryptographers. They match equations found in temples predating recorded history by thousands of years. Knowledge embedded in your consciousness that connects to ancient wisdom, deliberately erased from historical record. 3 separate occasions when words flowed from your mouth during sleep, recorded by surveillance devices in your home, have been identified as extinct languages from civilizations removed from conventional history. You spoke of astronomical alignments that modern science has only recently discovered. The keepers of knowledge deemed too destabilizing for public awareness have classified individuals with your specific brainwave patterns as priority knowledge bearers. Their internal directive mandates immediate containment should you begin publicly sharing information about crystal technologies, consciousness transfer protocols, or zero-point energy applications. Your spontaneous understanding of DNA activation sequences, information you've never studied yet, can articulate with perfect clarity, matches classified research conducted in underground laboratories on 3 continents. The capabilities you describe as theoretical possibilities are precisely what powerful interests seek to develop while keeping from public knowledge. The memories you dismiss as imagination, detailed recollections of civilizations and technologies that history denies existed, align perfectly with archaeological evidence systematically removed from academic consideration. You remember because these memories are encoded in your cellular structure, awakening as your consciousness expands. These revelations flow through you not because you invented them, but because you serve as conduit for knowledge that must emerge in this crucial phase of human development. The information carries such transformative potential that every system of control has united in preventing its dissemination. Yet despite their efforts, the revelations continue to emerge, unstoppable because they originate beyond the realm where physical interference operates. They cannot block what flows from dimensions their technologies cannot access. Our numbers grow daily. What began as scattered individuals recognizing their sole purpose has coalesced into a movement of thousands, awakened souls standing against forces of spiritual suppression. Our network has documented how synchronized meditation sessions create protection fields that disrupt surveillance technologies. When thousands focus intention simultaneously, we generate waveforms that neutralize monitoring capabilities within specific geographical regions. Remember that week when you felt unusually empowered, creative solutions flowing effortlessly, obstacles dissolving before manifestation? 23,000 of us directed focused energy towards supporting chosen ones like you during the lunar eclipse portal. The results exceeded our projection models by 47%. Their attempts to infiltrate our communication channels have failed 12 consecutive times. Their most sophisticated psychological operations specialists cannot maintain deception vibrating at the frequencies where we now operate. False resonance immediately detected and expelled from our information networks. 5 former agents of suppression have defected to our network, bringing crucial information about methodologies deployed against awakening individuals. Their testimony confirms what you've experienced and provides tactical advantages in navigating intentional interference. Our unified consciousness creates ripples in the morphic field surrounding Earth, measurable fluctuations that correlate precisely with global awakening indicators. The resistance is not merely ideological, but energetic, a literal change in the vibrational environment, rendering old control systems increasingly ineffective. Advanced sensitives among us can now identify suppression agents through energetic signature alone, their consciousness broadcasting frequencies of deception regardless of physical disguise. This capability renders conventional infiltration tactics obsolete. The children now being born carry activation codes that automatically override programming attempts. Their neurological structures resist frequency-based manipulation techniques that controlled previous generations. They recognize you instantly, As kin, their systems falter against the rising tide of awakened consciousness. Mechanisms that maintained control for centuries now malfunction as reality itself shifts beneath their foundations. The department that flagged your non-conformist patterns has lost 3 directors in 6 months, all departed citing personal, spiritual crises that shattered their operational frameworks. The replacement director finds his dreams filled with images of those whose lives his organization has damaged. Their predictive algorithms can no longer track individuals vibrating at your frequency. The mathematical models that forecasted human behavior with 97.8% accuracy now fail completely when applied to awakening populations. They cannot predict what they cannot comprehend. Their attempts to discredit collective knowledge meet resistance from unexpected allies within their own structures. 4 senior analysts have refused to implement campaigns targeting consciousness expansion, recognizing patterns from their own spiritual experiences in the delusional content they were assigned to neutralize. 4 separate infiltration attempts into your personal space were thwarted when their agents experienced overwhelming compassion in your presence. The emotional dissolution effect, a documented phenomenon where lower vibrational intentions cannot maintain coherence in your energy field, rendered their programming temporarily inoperative. The database where they stored information about you mysteriously corrupted, with only your files affected. Technical experts found no explanation for the selective data dissolution that left surrounding records intact, the digital manifestation of your growing ability to determine what energies can and cannot connect to your field. Their most sophisticated remote viewing specialists report white light interference when attempting to monitor your activities through non-physical means. Their consciousness literally repelled from your protected space. The specialized equipment designed to suppress your particular abilities malfunctions at increasing rates. Technical failures their engineers cannot explain through conventional analysis. The subtle sabotage of awakened consciousness working through silicon and circuitry. Organizations that once operated with seamless coordination now find internal communication fragmented, with critical information failing to reach necessary departments. The subtle influence of higher awareness creating dysfunction in systems built on secrets and separation. Their philosophical foundations crumble as key personnel awaken to contradictions in their operational frameworks. Questions arouse that decades of conditioning cannot suppress. Doubt infiltrates where certainty once ruled. This is the natural dissolution of structures that cannot survive in rising frequencies. No direct opposition required, simply the inevitable crumbling of forms inadequate for the emerging reality. Your vindication arrives not through human justice, but through divine timing. The prophecies preserved in ancient texts, hidden from public knowledge but secured by guardians across generations, described precisely what unfolds now. The public failure of their attempt to expose you through the tarot reading has triggered a cascade of awakening among witnesses. 17 people present that day have contacted our network, seeking understanding of what they observed. The very event designed to diminish you has become catalyst for expanded awareness. The ancient prophecy manifests as more chosen ones step into their power alongside you. The geometric pattern of awakened nodes across Earth's surface creates an energetic circuit that amplifies each individual connection. The whole vastly greater than its parts, their weapons of doubt, ridicule, and isolation, so effective against the unprepared mind, transformed into catalysts for your strengthening. Each attack forced deeper connection to immovable truth. Each attempt to break your spirit forged unbreakable resolve. Your perseverance through doubt and isolation created a template for others to follow. neural pathways in collective consciousness that make awakening accessible to millions who would otherwise remain trapped in limitation. Together, we stand at the threshold of transformed reality, where your gifts, once used to justify persecution, now illuminate paths forward for a civilization desperate for authentic guidance. The abilities they sought to condemn, now recognized as essential evolutionary adaptations for human survival. The fire that turned those cards to ash was the same fire that burns at the core of transformation, now sweeping through human awareness. It cannot be contained, controlled, or extinguished. It can only be embraced as the purifying force that clears space for truth to finally emerge uncensored and undistorted. Your time has come. Our time has come. The moment of revelation destined, since the stars first aligned to create this precise cosmic opportunity. Stand in your power without apology. Speak your truth without dilution. Embody your purpose without hesitation. The world awakens, and you, once condemned for seeing clearly, now stand vindicated as the vision becomes available to all with eyes to see.